Hello YouTube. It is the day after the bunion show, and I got a little shop video. We're not going to be building nothing, but we're going to upgrade my Powermatic 60 joiner. And I had went ahead and bought a Shelix spiral cutter head. And this company, boy, when they ship it really nice, very well made. Very heavy duty. I think it's got 5 rows. And it looks like that one's sticking out far enough. You might be able to even do a rabbet with it. I never really did rabbets on the joiner too much. It comes shipped in a box that with everything just really heavy duty. They even make these little wooden blocks to hold everything so it's not bouncing around in a crate. My old cutter head, let me grab that. Wherever I stuck the old cutter head, here it is. And it was at the point where it was time to replace or get this knife sharpened. And we've been doing some figured woods. This is a little 8-inch joiner, but it'll be nice just to try out the spiral head. They wanted the better part of $150 for a set of, good quality knives for it. So I said, you know what, let's go ahead and upgrade this machine to a spiral. And they give you a box of extra cutter heads, or carbide inserts. They give you 5, and let me get one out of here. And here's all it is. It's just a little carbide cutter, and it's got 4 surfaces, so this can be rotated. And they got a number on the corner so you know where you're at. And further looking at this, I believe this will do a rabbet, because this first cutter on the corner here, they locate it on a little bit of an angle, and I believe that's going to allow a rabbet to be cut on there. So I had already took this joiner apart, and it's really simple. Let me lower you down here. These are real simple to take apart. I took off the mount that holds the fence off of it. Just 2 bolts here. Take that off to allow you to open this up. Run your tables down to spread it open. And the bearings are held in with these little caps, and the bolt comes from underneath, 1 on each side, and basically that's all to hold the cutter head in. And the pulley itself, I got over on the other bench. You just take the pulley off. And if you do own a Powermatic 60 joiner and you're thinking about doing this, there's a few things you need to know. I'll get the old cutter head over here. First, they're gonna ask you some questions. And I think there was 6 different cutter heads made for this machine. Make sure we're still in the shot here. They want to know the overall length, and mine's 11.5. They want to know the diameter of the pulley as far as the shaft. Mine's 3/4. They did 5/8 and 3/4. They had different lengths cutter heads, and also they want to know the cutting circle. Mine happens to be 3 inches in our case. You need to know those things when you order the cutter head. And so we're going to go ahead and go back to the workbench here. And I'm not sure how easy these bearings are going to slide on. What I did is I took some time to clean the surfaces on the inside of this where the bearing's going to sit. And don't get these mixed up, because the one with the flat spot is towards your rabbeting ledge, and this allows the board to clear. So you want to make sure when you are putting these together, and yeah, I know I should be wearing gloves, yeah, someone will, but anyhow. And also, the other thing they want to know, there's 2 different size bearings on my particular model. They did make them with the same bearing on the front and back. So basically, just give that thing a good clean job. I'm going to give it just a little shot, just a little shot of WD. You don't need nothing. I just want to give it just a little bit of lubrication while we're trying to drive that in there. And we're going to get this one started. And I'm just going to use a wooden mallet. You could use a brass hammer. You could use, and basically, I believe that net went down and hit the shoulders. I think it did. But you will know if you didn't go far enough, because them two bolts will not line up. Again, I cleaned this with some emery cloth. I'll give it a little bit of WD. You could use anything light, 3-in-1 oil. There's all kind of things you could use, but this is what I happen to have in my hand at the moment. And we're going to see how this one will. So we could probably use this as a tool. So the shipping block, how about that? That worked good. And I believe we're bottomed out. And we'll double check this side again. Sounds nice and solid. So basically now we're ready to go ahead and put this into the machine. And we'll go back this direction again. I'm just trying to do a little different video here. In fact, let me come around this side here. And these are good old machines. If you have one of these, they just don't make them like this anymore. So we want to carefully place this in here. And I might have to, there it goes, it went in. And on this case here, you're going to have to locate that hole just by visual. I should have marked it. We'll figure it out. One thing nice, the bolts don't fly down on you, so let's go ahead and mark it. Let's mark it. That way we're not guessing no more. So there's the center of the bolt hole. And we're going to mark the center of the bolt hole here. Line these two up. Seems like it's starting to grab, I think. This is the tricky part. I can feel the bolt trying to grab. But anyhow, we'll go ahead and get these bolted in. This is turning into a boring thing. And once we get this together, we'll show you the next step of how we're going to keep putting this together. But you can see how nice and smooth this thing turns. I mean, and then what they do when you order them, they drill these, they bounce the whole thing and get it ready to ship. So every cutter head is made individual. So I'll talk to you here in a couple minutes and we'll have this bolted up. All right, we got the cutter head bolted in. So everything is looking good here. And I just brought the table up just so it's just barely dragging here. We'll make these final adjustments whenever we get everything together. Okay, now the pulley. Basically, it's nothing more than a little keyway to go in here if it wants to cooperate. There's a little bit of gunk in there with the machining. In this joiner, I actually found the inspection tag from 1972 when this thing was brand spanking. Okay, there's the, that was the problem where the set screw went down. Okay, line machine. Okay, there we go. That little bit of a burr. All right, now I'm going to get new belts for it. If you own a Powermatic Model 60, they don't sell the belts anymore. They're not available. It ends up to be an I think it's an A54 is what the belt is. So I'm going to get these on below here to see how good a condition this machine is. And there it is. There's the original inspection tag from when it was built. And basically, the motor sits on a platform and it's just hinged back here, and there's two locking bolts. And you don't need to go too crazy on tightness on this thing. So we'll go ahead and get that all locked down. Go back in the stand here. So that's done. Just a simple little belt guard goes over top of this. What I like about this machine, everything on it is pretty much original. Nothing's been really messed with. Okay, that's done. So we'll go ahead and get that ledge for the fence. And the last thing I'll do is lock the belt tension on it. Then it'll be time for fine-tuning this machine. And that ought to be interesting to see what kind of cut we can get with this when we get it fired back up. I'm going to try to find some boards with a little bit of figuring in them. Let me grab this part. And this is basically the casting that holds the fence on. And I should not have taken them all the way out. Oops. Well, we're going to get some oil on them anyhow. I think they like that. Get them greased up here. But even, you know, you look at the sawmill, you look at the maintenance, same thing in the shop. You can upgrade machines. And you figure 1972, this machine is still in service. That's unheard of. And you want to make this absolutely flush. All right, that is done. We'll bring the guard back where it should be. And we'll go ahead and get the fence back on it. Okay, it should fall into that keyway, and it did. So that's your in and out adjustment. And we're going to go ahead and put this guy back on. And there it is. And like I said, this one cutter head sticks out just enough. And I think we're going to be able to use the rabbit edge, or the rabbit ledge on it. So we'll talk to you here in a minute. All right, we're back. And the cutter head's installed. The belt guards, everything's back in place. Put tension on the belt. Anybody knows anything about a joiner, you have to have just a couple thousandths on the outfeed table to the tip of the knife. And I don't know what the correct answer is, but all I ever did is got a board and you rock it back and forth, and you want just a little bit for clearance. So this is the maiden voyage here, everybody. And let's bring you in a little bit closer here. And it's just a piece of pine for now. We'll do some playing around here. So, well, here we go. Even sounds different. And I don't have safety glasses on, sorry. And there we go. And something else I'll show you here. They make a different style of chip. This is like a real flaky. I'll put it on the table here. Now that's with the new spiral. Now we'll put this next to it with the straight knife. And look at the difference there. Reason being is the spiral cutter head never leaves contact with the board. The bad thing about the straight knife is there was a lot of chatter involved with them. This will never leave the surface of the board. There's always another one coming in line with it. And there's 5 rows. A straight knife cutter head has literally 3 knives. So now I got 2 more rows that I used to have here. So, but there it is. We're going to see if we can round up a piece of figured wood, and we'll put this thing through its paces here in a minute. Here we go. All right, we was talking about some nice figured, I don't know how good this is going to show up on the camera, but this is with the straight knives, and you can see we got grain going all different directions. This is a piece of ash, very hard. So we're going to run this through there and see if that doesn't tear it out. So let me get you guys down to a little bit better angle here. And we'll do some playing around here. And we're going to test it with a rabbit cut too. And I do have my safety glasses on for this. And also I do have a push board with a joiner just before I turn this thing on. You try to keep your hands behind or in front of the knives. So as you're coming through here, you're going to come through so far, then you're going to reach over to here, and then eventually you can put that push board on and bring it through. My big joiner, my porter, I have a feeder on it, very safe. I do have an extra feeder. If this works out good enough for me, I might put a small feeder on here. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. And as you're getting through far enough, you want to come over top the head. And the last step, have your board handy. Even just sounds smooth. Get this out of the way. Well, here it is. Drum roll, please. And I didn't get below that cut yet, but everything above that cut, see, this is how the tear out was from way, way back. If you took another pass or two, this would all go away. I mean, look at that. That looks like almost looks like a little ghost. There's little bird's eyes in there. And anything around a knot structure usually gets your crazy figured grains. But this is absolutely perfectly smooth. You wouldn't need to do much sanding on it. I'm looking for the little ridges. That's one thing people don't like about the spiral head. Sometimes you'll get ridges. It looks absolutely flat. I'm very happy with it. So we're going to try a rabbit here, and we're going to see if that actually will work. What did I do with my screwdriver? And when you cut a rabbit, you have to take off the guard. There's no other way around it. So we're just going to get the guard up out of the way. So don't hammer me about that. And this has never really been off, so it's actually kind of cruddy right there. We're going to bring the fence over, and this will set the depth of cut. So let's just say we're going to make that's eyeballing it, that's about 5/8. Maybe we'll go a little bit deeper. Say it's a 3/4 inch rabbit. Now, what we want to do is bring this down. We'll just go 1/4 inch. that looks all right. It's not too deep. So, I'm not big into cutting rabbets on the joiner, but this is what this ledge is for. It's called a rabbiting ledge. You can either run it this way, or you can go this way, depending on what you want. So, now let's just do it this way. And just say that was a cabinet back, and you wanted to make it so that you could hide the back of the cabinet, leave the edge of the wood. So that's a little bit like a heavy eighth right there, but it did a really nice job. It didn't do no tear out on the edge of the rabbet. In fact, let's run one the other way, just to see. There you go. Did an equal job. So there you go. We got the rabbet on it. We got one final step before this install is complete. So we'll go ahead and put this back. And with any joiner, if you're going to do a lot of edge work, keep moving this around. Don't leave it set in one spot. You will get flat spots. I don't know about the carbide, if that will happen. And you want to preload this a little bit. I think this originally came with a knob. I don't think they did much rabbiting with it. All right, we're back to where it will close it by itself. And since this machine, this is about a $500 upgrade in that neighborhood. I think the head itself was $420 some. They give you the sticker with the Byrd tool, Shelix head or Shelix, however you want to pronounce it. So that way, everybody knows that this machine has been upgraded, and there we go. And I also did test it for how straight it was. We'll come over here real quick. Try to give you as much information as I can in my videos. Basically, to test the joiner for straightness, basically get two boards of decent length, do an edge on each one, and when you put them together and you got a nice tight joint, that is what the joiner is for. Also, they send you, I don't know if this is a T25 or T24, but it's the proper Torx head that takes these little cutter bits out. That came with it. And overall, I am real happy with this product. And if you happen to have an older joiner, it don't have to be Powermatic, it could be anything. If you have an older Rockwell, they can all be upgraded. It was very simple. You could probably swap this out in an hour if you took your time. So there you go. I upgraded this machine, and I probably added more than the value of the cutter head itself, because these old machines are sought after. They were just so well built. And then I put it on a mobile stand, and that worked out real nice. So you just kick down two little things, and you can wheel this anywhere in the shop, kick them back up with the back of your feet or your toes, and drop it down. All in all, I'm happy. So thank you for watching this video. Thanks for coming along. We're going to try to get in the workshop more often. Please like and please subscribe. And hit the little bell, and there'll be more videos coming up in the shop. So thanks again, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.